Oh, I tell you what, this is going to be very, very interesting. Let's get it on. It's Manchester United versus Leicester City combined 11. And look, let me be honest. We've done Arsenal combined 11s, Chelsea, Man City, Liverpool. What are we doing? This is something that United fans, you have been talking about for a long time. Leicester City got a better team than us. Well, have they? This is going to be my honest combined 11. But does it show how United have fallen so far? Or are Leicester on the way back up? Because, to be honest with you, I'm thinking, even now, I know I'm going to change my mind as we go through on this combined 11. Because it's ridiculously close. It's ridiculously close. And I think actually, to be honest, one or two players apart, Leicester probably do have a better 11 than us. But how many players can Leicester get into a combined 11 with Manchester United? Because I think the bottom line here is that I've got to say is, look, a lot of United players are either underperforming or maybe they're not good enough. I don't know. But the reality is I think that Manchester United's squad's better than Leicester's. The coaching and the way they play, maybe not. And that's maybe why Leicester, feel that they are. But look, you're going to get your opinions in the bottom. Please do. I know for a fact that not many people are going to agree. But let's go. First player for me, David De Gea in goal. Look, I know Leicester fans are going to say Kasper Schmeichel. I know some United fans who are feeling, aggrieved with De Gea at the moment are going to say he's bang out of form. Mark, he shouldn't be there. Kasper Schmeichel could. Kasper Schmeichel's a Premier League goalkeeping winner. But look, unless his first name's Peter, he ain't getting in ahead of De Gea. And that's it. De Gea is still one of the world's best goalkeepers. Kasper Schmeichel's good. But, he still plays for Leicester. And with all due respect, if he was one of the world's best, he'd be at a better club. But no, David De Gea is a better goalkeeper. And I go with the ability. That's what you got to go with. This position, right back, I've got to be honest with you, I feel sorry for Ricardo Pereira. If you don't follow Leicester, he is absolutely fantastic at right back. I think both Leicester's fullbacks deserve Champions League football. I think they're both two of the best fullbacks in European football, to be honest with you. And I think Ricardo Pereira, if you're a Leicester fan, you could really make a case to say, why is Wan-Bissaka in ahead of them? But Manchester United fans, we cannot go with anybody other than Aaron Wan-Bissaka. So I think only Leicester fans are going to argue with this. What I would say is Ricardo Pereira is absolutely fantastic. And I don't have really any issues with people, if you're a Leicester fan, saying that he should play. But as a Manchester United fan, Wan-Bissaka 100% every time. But Pereira is good. Left back, I'm going to give it you. Look, I'm a massive fan of Luke Shaw, but to me, I think Ben Chilwell is the best thing. Is England's best left back. I think he should be playing at left back for England. I think he's better than Danny Rose. I think he's an outstanding fullback. I've seen him play a couple of times against Manchester United. And last season at left back, he was the best player on the pitch. He didn't even deserve to lose the game. I thought he was absolutely superb. But for me, Luke Shaw, I do like Luke Shaw, and I've said that many a time in the past. But I just cannot find a place for Luke Shaw in that team, I'm afraid. It's got to be Ben Chilwell. He's a big threat, and he'll be a big threat in the Man United-Leicester game because United's right-hand side, attacking-wise, who plays there? So Wan-Bissaka could be very busy. I think that's going to be a very interesting battle between Chilwell getting forward and Wan-Bissaka as well. So I don't know. Look, I mean, this one's an interesting position. I've gone for Lindelof and I've gone for Maguire as my centre-backs. And I know people are going to moan about that. But look, Johnny Evans at Leicester. Well, look, first of all, Leicester, you would say Harry Maguire if we hadn't bought him off you. You've just sold us your best centre-back. So Harry Maguire walks straight in. He's definitely the left-sided centre-back. Who plays with Harry Maguire? Well, you could say Johnny Evans and Harry Maguire would be a better centre-back partnership than the one with Lindelof because they played together more and Lindelof's looks a little bit shaky. Lindelof's better than Johnny Evans. Trust me on that one, he is. The only other question is, and I'll probably get his name wrong, Sogonu, the Turkish centre-back for Leicester. I have been impressed by him, but I still personally would go Lindelof and Maguire, and a few shaky moments from Lindelof are not going to make me change that. So I'm going to go with that. I think Leicester fans might come in and say, oh, you're wrong with that one, but I'm going to go with that. And just to shut you up, look, Ndidi walks straight into that midfield. 100% Ndidi goes into the centre defensive midfield position. I'm not playing two. I hate playing two. I don't think Brendan Rodgers really likes to play two. I know they've got that Chowdhury lad who's very very good as well, but just as it's got to be Ndidi. And what Ndidi would give if this was going to be a proper team, it allows the two midfielders who are going to play with him to be more number 8s, more box to box, more focus on being attacking like Tielemans and Maddison do when he does that 4-3-3. Whereas United, we can't do that at the moment because we've got such a crap centre defensive midfield that we have to play 2 to compensate for the fact that we haven't got a good enough one. Ndidi, to me, I think he's got the best tackling stats with Idrissa Gueye last season. But his mobility, his break-up play, he's decent on the ball. He's brilliant. I would love him to come to Manchester United. He would solve so many problems for Manchester United. And, you know, I think it's probably the easiest position in this combined 11, which is very difficult for me to pick, is Ndidi. I think he has no peer in Manchester United. He walks into it absolutely easy. The next bit's a difficult place. And I think, you know, there is absolutely no way that this guy doesn't get in, Paul Pogba. I know Leicester fans might moan about it, and yet again, I know Manchester United fans might moan about it. But Paul Pogba, he's got I said this last night. Paul Pogba's got Manchester United's season in his hands. If Pogba gets injured or Pogba doesn't play well, we'll have a terrible season. He is so fundamental to Manchester United. Yes, he is inconsistent, but Real Madrid want him. You know, PSG would take him. Juventus would want him back. He is a World Cup winner. He's a fantastic player, and I think actually, in this team, this team we're building here will kick the crap out of United's best 11, and it will kick the crap out of Leicester's best 11. This team would probably be a competitor for Liverpool and Man City. It's going to be that good. So Pogba, when people talk about building a team around Paul Pogba, then for me, this is how you do that. You know, you've got symmetry at the back, you've got 2 very, very good fullbacks, you've got a superb centre defensive midfielder, and now you're going to put a number 8 with him that's fantastic. And the number 8 for me, again, people might not agree with this, but I've gone James Maddison. Youri Tielemans could easily go there, but because you've got Ndidi, I think Pogba and Maddison would be brilliant as the sort of, we've got more licence to go forward, we have got to get back, but Ndidi's going to do all that work for us. And I think Tielemans, Maddison and Ndidi works well because Maddison's more licensed to attack, Tielemans is the quintessential number 8, and Ndidi does all the dirty work, defensive work. But I would go Maddison. I would go Maddison, Pogba and Ndidi. If you go Tielemans, that's up to you. I don't disagree with you. I just think for me, that midfield, and Tielemans would, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, Leicester City fans or Manchester United fans, look at what I've just said there. Pogba gets in because of who he is, but we're arguing about whether Tielemans or Maddison gets in. There is no Manchester United midfielder in this argument. Pogba is the only one. And this goes back to the Polo FC, the Mint with a hole. Manchester United midfield is a disgrace. It's an embarrassment. You take Paul Pogba out of it and there is no debate. It's Tielemans, Ndidi and Maddison. So it just exposes the big issues that Manchester United have, that we all know that we've got. And it's an embarrassment. It's an embarrassment how our midfield lines up, to be honest with you. And I am embarrassed by it, and I think we all should be embarrassed by it. But yeah, look, Leicester, that's how it goes. Dan James on the right. In fact, I may as well add 2 players for you. Dan James on the right, Anthony Martial on the left. I don't rate Leicester's attacking wide players. I know they've got Gray, who is a great player, but he's very inconsistent. Barnes, again, not really consistent enough. They bought the lad from Newcastle, I forget his name, Perez. Again, I don't really rate him that much. And Albrighton's steady Eddie, isn't he? He's a good player. But to me, Dan James, I would put on the right. I prefer Dan James on the right, on the left, but I think we all know who's going to be playing up front. So Dan James would go on the right for me. I'd put Martial back on the left, and then obviously up front, I actually did think for a moment. Let me just complete the team. So it's Vardy up front. I did think, and people will have different permutations. I know. I did think about playing Tielemans next to Pogba, putting Maddison on the right hand side of the attack, and playing Martial up front with Dan James and not playing Vardy, but I thought that's ridiculous. Jamie Vardy with Harry Kane and Aguero has scored the most goals in the Premier League since 2015. He looks back to his best this season. And whilst I think Martial can be a better number 9 than Vardy, at the moment, Vardy is the better one. I think that you can't not play Martial, so I'd play Martial off the left, and that means Dan James goes to the right. I don't see anybody else in the Leicester front 3 who gets in other than Vardy. And I think what you would do with that front 3 is you wouldn't be static. I would be saying Martial swap with Vardy, Vardy swap with James. You know, Vardy, the way Vardy plays, he can drop wide. Martial can pull into the middle. Dan James can swap to the left. So I'd want a lot of interchangeability. But what I would say about that team is, what a team it is. You know, what a team that would be. The midfield is... I despair of Manchester United's midfield. It makes me want to cry when I see it because it's redundant. It's rubbish. I look at that midfield and I think, whew, what a midfield. I look at that back four and I think, well, with Chilwell in there, what a back four that is. And then, you know, the front three, well, you know, there's that interchangeability. So that is my combined 11. Only 4 Leicester players get in. So I think it quells the myth that Leicester's got loads of better players than us. I don't think they've got better players. I think they've got a better team. And there are some close ones. Look, Schmeichel's a very good goalkeeper. Ricardo Pereira is a brilliant right back. But apart from that, you could have the debate about Lindelof for Evans or the Turkish lad. But to me, I'm happy with that as a combined 11. But what it does expose, everybody, is the thing we already know. Tielemans just misses out. McTominay, Matic, Fred, Pereira, you ain't even in this debate. You know, you tell you what, you get on the bus for West Ham combined 11 next week because you're not in this debate. You know, that's your level. You can get in a midfield combined 11 when we're playing Rochdale or something, but you're nowhere near this debate, and this is why United may well struggle this season. Pogba gets in, but that midfield looks brilliant to me. Get your comments in below, smash a like on the video. We're back again at 8 o'clock tonight with the preview. We've got Lee Chappie on, who's a Leicester fan. He might have a few things to say about that, but the most enjoyable combined 11 I've ever done. But should we enjoy it? Is this a sign of United's fall, that we are really in debate about a Leicester Manchester United combined 11? And all due respect to Leicester, I think they're a good team, but United, you know, it just exposes the poor dealings in the board and that midfield debate, how weak we are there. Thanks everyone for watching. Get your comments in below. I'll speak to you all soon.